Ladies and gentlemen, happy World FM Day 2023. A very warm welcome to this webinar to celebrate this day. This webinar has been co-organized by ServeDeck Innovation Stand-Up Hub and MIPFM, the Malaysian Institute of Property and Facility Managers. Thank you to everyone who has been putting in efforts, and I will be your EMC for the day. I am Dr. Daniele Gambero, President of the Malaysian PropTech Association, which is a supporting association of this webinar, and also known a bit for my sharing about property, about propenomy, and about PropTech. Why we are here celebrating facility management and the managers and the management companies? Because we are spending, we like it or not, almost 85% of our life within buildings, be it the hospital where we are born, to the kindergarten where we start understanding that there is something such as a school where we will need to go. Then there is a school, then there are office, universities, army camp, airport, homes, office tower, shopping mall. Everything in the world happens mostly within bricks. And these bricks need to be managed. And who manage these bricks? Facility manager and property manager. And today we are here to celebrate all these unsung heroes, starting from a very, very high level, meaning we have been inviting with us as a guest of honors, he will give his remarks later, the deputy chair of the Global FM. Global FM is a global alliance of facility management associations from all around the world. They have been pulling in, has been launched in US, but then has been getting associations from everywhere around the world. Without any further delay, let me start this webinar asking the two organizers to give a short opening remark. We start with the service provider co-organizer, ServeDeck Innovation, and to give the remark as co-organizer will be its co-founder and CEO, Mr. Davent Low. Davent is a very young person, only 40 years old, and during these 40 years, he's managed to mature more than 16 years of very solid track of record as an all-round IT specialist. His personal track of record has been to digitize 290 plus buildings and 600 plus retailers outlets. And I think that recently the number has been jumping up consistently and considerably. And he has been all his professional life helping smart building digitalization journey, enforcement, enablement, and adoption and use of technology to ease the work of FM companies. Mr. Davent, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to this World FM Day conference. As we all know, managing building facilities can be quite challenging, especially when it comes to optimizing energy consumption, ensuring the safety and comfort of occupants, and managing cost effectively, as every FM managers know. However, with this rise of the smart building technologies and innovation, we can now transform smart buildings into efficient, secure, and sustainable spaces. First of all, thanks to MIPFM for inviting ServeDeck to be the co-organizer to this event, and we are glad to have gathered industry experts as well as facility managers from various sectors into this conference. ServeDeck is always excited to participate in such FM events, as our company mission is to support the FM industry during their digitalization journey. So once again, thank you for being here today. And let's make the most of this opportunity to advance our knowledge from our honorable speakers today. So Dr. Daniel, I wouldn't want to delay further for today's sections, and I hand it over back to you.
Thank you so much, David, for your insightful words. And now we have the second co-organizer as a MIPFM representative. Today we have nobody else than its president, Dr. Surveyor Haji Kamarulzaman Mat Saleh. He is the mayor of Kuala Lumpur, a member of the Royal Institute of Surveyor, FRISM, and a registered property manager with BOVEAP. He holds a certification as mediator at the Bar Council Malaysian Mediation Center, and the Tuk Surveyor Haji Kamarul Zaman has been adding up more than 30 years of deep experience in valuation, commissioner of building, and property manager in DBKL. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dato on stage.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. Our guest of honor, Mr. John Carrillo, the chairman of Global FM, Mr. Ali Al-Swadi, the deputy chairman of Global FM Dubai, Dr. Daniel Gambro, the president of the Malaysia PropTech Association, SR Haji Azman Shah bin Muhammad Arifin, MIPFM immediate past president, my fellow ESCO members, MIPFM members, ServeDeck, and our distinguished participants. It gives the great pleasure to be here today to celebrate the World FM Day 2023 together with the chairman of Global FM. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. John Carrillo for successfully convening World FM Day 2023. A warm welcome to all of you to the World FM Day 2023 webinar. This year, theme is Making a Real Difference, the FM and PropTech Alliance. As we are aware, technology has tremendously advanced and presented opportunities to developing countries for national development. I believe this webinar will be beneficial for all of us in enhancing our knowledge of FN and technology, especially in property and facility management services. Through this webinar, the audience may take the opportunities to exchange their thought and master from the industry expert who will share innovative ideas. MIPFM aim and objective from this webinar are to encourage members of the Institute to keep abreast with the latest developments relating to the advancement of property and facility management practices. I wish all of you having a good and fruitful session in this webinar. Thank you.
Now we are going to have the official opening remarks of our World FM Day celebration given to us by the Deputy Chair of Global FM, Mr. Ali Al-Suwaidi. Ali is a global facility manager industry leader. He has many years in the FM industry and has developed the ability to put forward strategic asset management plans for various sectors such as education, residential, commercial, infrastructure, among others. He is based in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and we all know what kind of a sparkling market the UAE are in terms of new building, new environment to be managed. It will be extremely interesting to hear from Ali his experience, his advices to all facility managers. Ali is currently the Senior Executive Director of FMS in the IMDAAD group. He is the YAPA board member, Vice Chair Global FM, and Vice President of MIPFM. Ali, I give you the stage for your short sharing. Thank you so much, and thanks for being with us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody around the world joining us in the World FM celebration. I have to say first, happy World FM Day to everyone. We need to celebrate and be proud of what we do, and that is very important for us. And by the way, if you couldn't celebrate today, you have the whole week to celebrate. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So you have a chance to meet your team, recognize their effort, bring on your client as well, and celebrate the contribution of FM as as a profession to managing the work environment, managing many different facilities and infrastructure. Myself, I'm in the industry since 25 years ago, and I have noticed that the industry is always evolving and growing. And I believe from day one I joined the industry that without technology, we are unable to proceed further. And I will tell you why. Because today, everybody believes on sustainability as a main agenda for operating any organization. And I remember when I met the founder of LEED certification or LEED building certification down in 2011, nobody looked at the FM professionals as an important role in getting the certification of LEED to be very enforced and active in building after handover. But today, there is a big interest to involve facility managers in energy management and sustainability agenda. We are actually leading the way. So the facility manager professionals around the world has to be proud and very important to make sure that today is not like yesterday. So we cannot continue to work in the same way. So when I say we cannot continue to work in the same way, we have data. Where is the data? How can we work with the data to forecast efficiencies, forecast requirement for maintenance? And I have to say, we always focus on preventive maintenance. We don't focus on operation. Operating the asset is more important than anything else, because if you operate it in an efficient way, you can reduce the life cycle, improve the life cycle when it comes to life cycle, improve energy, and of course, durability and longevity of the assets. So by having data, you will have a better operational strategy. You will have a better and on-time maintenance regime that you need to create. It will be more than a normal programmed annual preventive maintenance. It will be a reliability-based maintenance. So facility managers, you have to be proud of what you're doing. You are in the heart of sustainability and ESG agenda. If you look at the ESG 17 goals, we contribute to at least 11 of them. So you need to learn, continue learning, know more about sustainability of your organization and your client, and how can you enable them to achieve it. Now, when I said data is a new oil. It is the new oil. So can we analyze data alone without using technology? It will be impossible. We have so much data, and sometimes we even don't know where are these data. So technology will help us to move faster in our transformation, in our automation of our building, in managing our work environment, and becoming not just hardworking professionals, but smarter. We need to work smarter. And this is where technology will help us. So this is where my speech today is more about, you need to learn technology. As a facility management professional, please don't say this is an IT objective. IT expert will help you to set up the infrastructure. But you as a facility manager professional or facility management professional, you need to understand how to set up the right workflow, what are the important you need, and how can you create the right dashboard to predict facilities behavior, to understand competencies of your people, to link your operation to weather condition. There's many things. It's really a very interesting, dilemma that without technology, you cannot do this. And by the way, today we have, through PropTech and other industries, we have people who can sit with you and develop and map your requirement and develop very easy approach. I give you a simple example. In my operation, before joining MDAD, MDAD is a facility management company in Dubai. We manage more than, it's a huge asset, 200 hectare. We have a huge operation, almost $300 million of operation in revenue. So it's a huge FM company. But before I joined MDAD, I was with an asset owner. We were in a theme park. And, we had a problem. You have to send the technician quickly. And sometimes you don't know where is the technician. You have around 100,000 people in the park. Did he reach? Didn't he reach? So we mapped the whole, site, and we tracked all our teams on the site, cleaning, technicians. We tracked our assets. We created GPS. So it's easy to go to the map in the control room and see where is my technician now, or cleaner. Is he green? Means is he doing something? Is he red? Means he's taking a break or free. And did he attend? Where did he reach? This is a simple field operation app. You have smart IoTs. You have AI and machine learning through big data. So I am not an expert in IT, guys, but I need to know this stuff to do my job better. So my advice to you, learn more about IT. Try to use IT as a tool to make it easier for your people to do their jobs. Look at your layer of operation. How can I use IT to enable people to have a better experience, efficiency of my team, and value add to my customer? So this year's theme is making a difference, making a real difference. And just to continue what we do, I don't think is really recommended. We need to be solution providers. We should not go to clients and say, this is my contract, I'm delivering my contract. You have to sit with the client and look at their pain and try to enable technology to help you to manage a huge and mega projects. Without technology, again, you will not have data structured in the right way. You will not have technology to help you in analyzing this information, and you will not be able to take the right action to optimize, improve the life cycle, improve the reliability, and improve the experience of the people using the building. So we're here. We have a lot of heroes worldwide. I think our job as a facility manager is to support our people. People is the most important thing in the industry. Please look at your people. Do what support they need. Look at your supplier. How can you make them your partner? And then look at people from a client perspective. What is their pain point? Can I help them to do a better job as a client? That's very important. And then we go and see our service. Are we improving the service? Can we have continuous improvement to what we do? And then, of course, finally, we're there to make the difference to our industry, our society, as Mr. Daniele said, even to our cities. Thank you very much. This is my remark. I hope, guys, you got something out of the remark, and I'll be delighted. You can reach me anytime in my LinkedIn. And we are all here dedicated to support FM industry and all the FM professionals and participants. Thank you again, and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ali, for a very inspiring word from a global leader as you are. And thank you for being with us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me start introducing the second part of our webinar. After the introduction, we come to three speakers looking at facility management and how making a real difference in facility management from three different angles. The very first one is the viewpoint of a service provider with the ServeDeck and Mr. Suhendra Arianto. Then we will have from a asset owner and asset property and infrastructure owner, which is JKR, today represented here by engineer Mazia Abu Hassan. And last but not least, there will be the viewpoint of a property manager, a very established and experienced, such as surveyor Asman Arifin. Now, let's go to the first of our speakers, Mr. Suhendra Arianto. Suhendra is a ServeDeck co-founder and CTO. He is a PropTech enthusiast and technology evangelist with more than 15 years of experience in developing software products and delivering mission-critical and impactful IT solutions. He has been playing critical roles in payment and banking solutions product development for major financial institutions in Asia and North America. Big portion of Suhendra's time and attention are normally spent on pursuing and researching leading edge technologies to make them practically usable for the FM industry, as well as being actively involved in many IT online and offline communities. Today, Mr. Suhendra will present to us a trip into the future and an extraordinary, into the extraordinary, because his talk title is Beyond Ordinary FM, Exploiting Technology to Your Advantage. Mr. Suhendra, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Daniel. I hope my voice
Yes.
and
Perfect.
slide is visible properly.
Absolutely perfect.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind introduction as well. And thanks to MIPFM as the co-organizer and also Malaysia PropTech as the supporting association. My big appreciation as well for the fellow speakers, moderators, and panelists in this event. And of course, happy World FM Day 2023 to all of you. And thank you for your time to join us this afternoon. My name is Suhendra. I'm the Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of ServeDeck. In this session, we are going to talk about Beyond Ordinary FM, which is exploiting technology to your advantage. We will first revisit what we have been experiencing recently, the ongoing trend, and how we move forward by fully utilizing the technology available to us today. This is going to be just a short session to highlight the practical items that we can immediately implement. We might not have so much time to discuss every item in details because we have a limited time. If you have any questions, you can post your questions into the Q&A box and we'll try to attend to them towards the end of this session. Yeah, so the world that we know it no longer the same after the big shock with the name of the pandemic. First, when one of the things that has changed and likely to remain that way is how the facilities are being utilized. Look at the hybrid work, which is now a new norm, whereby we no longer stick to the fixed condition and parameters. The occupancy fluctuates between days of the week. The highs and the lows are more apparent than before. Hence, being flexible and adaptive in everything that we do is now the key. We are talking about the different load of air conditioning system, utilization of lift, and also escalators, and many more. And also we have been seeing that the competitiveness of the business, including FM industry, has reached to a new level. The need of the business resilience and growth is driving a new level of productivity demand. And in all aspects, either in consumer world as well as in business, we are witnessing acceleration of technology innovation and adoption. Something that was considered as luxurious or uncommon just a few years ago now has become a need or even a requirement because the entire world is moving to that direction. So if we are not adopting technology as part of our process, then we could be the uncommon one. And this is something that we have been hearing louder every day, for a good reason, of course, that the Sustainable Development Goals and ESG are now pretty much embedded priority in everything that we aim, we plan, we operate, and execute. Right. So with all that in front of us, how do we, as the facility managers or facility management business or asset owners, can move forward with confidence? And what can we extract from the technology available today to make it work on our side to our advantage? First, we'll be in control of the works with super productive workforce. The era of fixed headcount services has passed and being significantly replaced with value-based, performance-based service, especially in integrated facility management. This actually means that the team with the top level of productivity will stay on top of the game. It's actually quite easy to keep the team productive even without a system when the team size is still relatively small. However, doing everything manually will not allow the organization to perform with the same level of productivity when the team scales up. In other words, having a digital facility management system is definitely a key to spur the growth of the business to the next level, while maintaining or even increasing the overall productivity and service level. We have seen more and more facility management teams or companies who organize their workforce to be based on resource pooling model instead of the fixed headcount allocation. And this to increase flexibility, adaptability, and ultimately was the profitability of the business. And digital facility management system is definitely a key enabler to make this resource pooling management to work well. Yeah, so what does it mean by being in control? So what can we get by implementing a digital facility management system? Having work orders in a digital form actually allows the team to stay updated on work priorities based on the importance, urgency, and how it's being compared against the committed service level agreement or SLA. Not being aware and constantly alert on the actual performance versus the SLA opens up the risk of unnecessary financial costs by means of penalties or even reduction in revenues. Digital system that can allow supervisors and facility managers to easily spot the critical tasks and proactively give them reminders will definitely be a great help in this aspect. Digital work order system also allows a real-time update on all activities happening on the ground, complete with evidence, in this case, usually by pictures, videos, voices sometimes, description of work done, what has been done on the ground to actually do the rectification or maintenance work, root cause analysis. We talk about the big data that actually can make use of the data that has been collected if you are using a digital system without the need of entering those data on paper first, like in the old days, and then retyping everything into a spreadsheet and then compiling all the information manually when the reports are needed. It's even more powerful when it's linked to complementing functions such as shift management. We all know that, like morning, afternoon shift, staff attendance, and also having a digital key on their mobile phone. I'm talking about the staff that can use the key to access certain restricted area, but just by using their mobile phone. So this can save a lot of time for them to walk or travels to collect and return the physical key needed to access the restricted areas of the building. And not to mention if there's any incident of the key being lost or the key custodian become unavailable. Other important aspects related to work order execution is the asset maintenance history and also, of course, inventory usage tracking. While having everything tracked digitally, that allows you to do so many things. Again, we talk about optimization using data, but also it allows you to perform analysis on the team performance. And this is quite important in terms of the human resources management, that you will be able to recognize and appreciate the team members who give the best and the full dedication to the organization. Right. So what else can we actually make use from the technology to help us to become more productive? Second one is expect the unexpected, how to predict and mitigate the downtime. Another key aspect of the technology that can help us is to be able to predict and give you a heads up before something goes wrong, so you can mitigate and minimize the impact of the breakdown. The downtime, while often has direct financial consequences of the repair, it also has unignorable, people often forget, the non-financial consequences in the form of the maybe reputation and also overall public perception of the property, even the property owner and the facility management team themselves. So this is actually quite important. Certainly, reduction in financial and non-financial costs is achievable when assets are monitored, checked, and maintained properly. So how do we do that? How do we ensure that? Digital checklist is one of the functions available in a digital system for facility management. Allows user to configure custom form and fill it up as the staff executing them will give them a great benefit. Forget about the system that last time in the past, it can only generate and print a blank form and then ask the staff to fill up the inspection and maintenance checklist on a piece of paper. And then somebody has to rekey in those information in the spreadsheet or reports to be submitted. A good system allows the system to fill up it on the spot, right on their mobile device with the time and the site presence validation. So it means we'll make sure, the system will make sure that the inspection is done properly in time and on site, and making it easy for them to highlight any anomalies detected during the inspection or maintenance to be followed up properly. How many times as the supervisors and facility manager didn't catch the early warning found during the inspection because they're just written on a piece of paper and nobody reads it until something big happens? With the equipments being registered and tagged properly, all the history of the corrective maintenance, inspection, preventive maintenance are always readily available anytime you need it. To take this into one step further, AIoT devices, basically it's IoT devices with the backend of AI to be able to analyze the data that is sent by the device, shall be installed to monitor the health and the performance of critical equipment. And the collected data shall be fed into digital twin, so it can be viewed, inspected, and checked whenever something starts to go astray from their normal behavior. What else can we extract from technology to make the FM service to go to the next level? Another aspect to consider. Yeah.
More minute.
Thank you. Another aspect to consider is that you might have a hidden paymaster, hidden stakeholders. Hence, a good facility management shall be able to give satisfactory level service to all layers of the customer chain. So it could be to unit owners, tenants, or even public visitors. There are a few functions of the modern and extended facility management solution that you can utilize to fulfill this objective. So as you can see on the screen, I don't think we can go through one by one, but yeah, feedback, service satisfaction rating. So you can actually mark the star, 1 star up to 5 stars. Application processing, we are talking about work permit application, move in, move out, extended operation hour request, and also announcement that actually replace the circulars. And last but not least is the redefinition of visitor management system, which is in the olden days is all manual, card-based, touch-based, but now facial recognition system and NFC are two of the top leading access methods that is being implemented these days. Talking about the financial, so it now can be integrated as well to the system. So the entire process flow from the actual operation and then getting RFQ, creating a PR, getting an RFQ, and getting a quotations from vendors, and also awarding a PR and processing invoice, all can be done on the same platform. So everything is organized, everything is available in one place. Of course, ESG, the rising cost of technology and the loud call for being sustainable, it now pays when we put effort in this aspect, literally in dollars and cents. It becomes more apparent, for example, like in Malaysia, with the implementation of surcharge on excess energy usage, known as ICPT, Imbalance Cost Pass-Through Scheme, here in Malaysia. The hike of the surcharge to be paid by that has caused significant drive to explore and implement the energy audit and energy saving solutions, especially within the commercial establishments. Right, just a couple of things, just very quick. So when you are ready to walk the path of digitalization on your facility management practice, there are a few things to bear in mind when considering your options. Having one stop, a fully end-to-end, whereby all parties in your process chain can collaborate together, while having capability to integrate with external system shall be given a major consideration. Lastly, a consolidated integrated system to manage your facility management infrastructure, such as visitor management system, as I mentioned earlier, the modern access control using digital key, and seamless integration with solutions like energy saving, building automation system, and IoT devices will definitely give you a competitive edge. So just from me, don't overthinking it, but just please consider wisely. And with that, I conclude this sharing session. Hopefully that has been beneficial to all of you. And thank you once again for tuning in. And we'll try to see if, I don't know, if we have still some couple of minutes to attend some questions.
I thank you so much. Thank you so much, Surendra, for a very interesting presentation based on the right application at the right moment of the right technology. But one thing above all, integration. Integration is the password. Integration all-in-one and cloud-based. How do we deal? We have here an interesting question from one of the participants, but try to keep your answer as short as possible because we have been overrunning a little bit. How do we deal with unauthorized access? One of our participants is asking.
Sure, thank you very much for the question. And yes, it is becoming more and more important in the space of cybersecurity, right? So we know that internet now is like open world whereby everything is connected to each other. However, as our service provider in ServeDeck, we are actually ensuring that the authorization, even authentication, before the device gets connected to the platform, that has to go through a proper authentication method. So that can come from various methods. For example, like the typical username password, the access token, that is the one that can actually protect the connectivity to remain secure. So yes, of course, the challenges are there, but there are good tools and good methodologies to actually mitigate the risk so that we can actually deploy IoT devices securely. Thank you.
So we are now to engineer Mazia Abdul Hassan. She is a civil engineer by trade and has a master's degree in asset and facility management from the University Technology Malaysia. She has served at the Public Works Department Malaysia, PWD Malaysia, for almost 23 years. Engineer Mazia has been attached to the Asset Management Division in Public Works since 2007. And has had the opportunity to work with government experts in the establishment of a government asset management policy and few other guidelines that are currently used by the government sector. Today, Engineer Mazia will present to us about the building's digital transformation journey, all the challenges and all the gains on the journey itself. Engineer Mazia, the stage is yours. Thank you.
So I'll be sharing my slides. So first of all, I would like to thank the organizers, MIPFM and ServeDeck, for inviting me as one of the speakers into this webinar. Thank you for the kind introduction, Dr. Daniel. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon, maybe good morning and good evening. So I will be talking about the background of management in public sectors in Malaysia, how it started, challenges we face. Then I will move on and talk about what improvements we we have done in terms of digitalizing our work processes before sharing maybe some future strategy. In about JKR, JKR roles in the assets and facilities management in Malaysia. So I will mention asset management and facilities management throughout the presentation because both asset and facilities management, they coexisted and started at almost the same time in public sector. So JKR is actually one of the biggest technical agency in government, and it was established around 151 years ago. So I will start with our background, a bit of it. I mentioned just now that asset management and facility management are our domain in public sector. JKR is the party that has the competency so far. So who is JKR? So we are the biggest technical agency in government, and we was established around 151 years ago. We started with providing technical services to other ministries in development and maintenance project. But for the past 15 years, we have diversified our function, and we offer asset and facilities management consultancy and services to other ministries. So our biggest achievement in AFM movement in Malaysia is getting the concept, the AFM concept accepted by the public sector, the government sector. And we are part of the steering committee that developed the asset management policy for federal assets in 2009 with some of the central agencies. So the policy that we developed actually had successfully initiated few other initiatives, especially by our Construction Industry Development Board on FM contractors registration and training. The policy also initiates the transformation of government accounting system from cash to accrual accounting. It also provides standards and guidelines to public sector in AFM and creates opportunity for contractors and service providers in terms of job markets related to AFM. So, federal government, as everyone knows, has diverse asset portfolio. We have building, yes, we have a lot of buildings, but we also have roads, bridges, airports, and many more. So in development project, our client, the ministries, will usually appoint JKR as the project director or superintending officer, depending on type of construction. So once the asset completed, JKR will hand over the asset back to the ministries. So most of the time, client will be responsible to maintain their own asset. But unfortunately, our ministries, they do not have the technical capacity, especially in terms of knowledge and manpower. So maintaining an asset for them is quite difficult. It's very challenging. So that was before 2009. Now, after we have the asset management policy, JKR has more responsibility. Now, not only we continue to support the clients in asset development phase, but we also need to make sure that during the asset usage, proper management of the asset is well taken care of. So to maintain the asset performance, we use facilities management. We use FM in most of our strategic buildings in Putrajaya, and few more in other states such as Sabah, Pahang, Negeri Sembilan, and a few more lah. So this is how FM related to JKR and how JKR contributes to the FM overall. So let's talk about challenges to AFM. So before 2009, asset and facilities management is a very new concept to everyone, especially in public sector. I believe private is not so. So we had hard time convincing and getting the buy-in from our clients, ministries, and also our own management. So as we can see here, there are 4 main challenges in implementing AFM in public sector. So some has been addressed and others we're still working on it. The first one is policy, but this is just the tip of the ice and easiest so far, I would say, because we managed to develop and gazetted the policy in 2009. The second problem is how to make people understand and accept their role in AFM. So somehow after 15 years of consistently running a competency development program in-house, we are finally getting somewhere. More people are interested in AFM compared to several years ago. The third one is the work process. We are lucky lah. We are lucky in the sense that we are a certified ISO organization since 1999, and we have our own QMS. So we managed to incorporate AFM procedures and work processes in the existing QMS. But still we struggle with the numbers of physical forms and quality documents that we must keep for some time as part of the ISO requirement. And the last one, the fourth challenges are the technology. So we have been talking about technology. A few speakers have been talking about technology. So fortunately for us in JKR, embracing new technology is not a problem. It is part of our culture, and we are fully aware of the benefits. We know it can improve our processes, helps increase our quality and performance, and we know it's important because we have experience managing building complexes in Putrajaya since 2000, and as of now we have around 3.9 billion ringgit of worth of contracts, FM contracts in Putrajaya. So so far that is the only issues, but the bigger issue is of course the money. So that matters. Maybe we can't focus on that so much because we don't have any authority on that. That is more to maybe Ministry of Finance or Treasury. They can maybe address that money matters. Okay, in asset management policy that we outlined that we developed in 2009 actually has 4 main strategies. So strategy number 2 and number 3 may be related to our seminar today. The number 2 mentioning about the transformation in system and processes, and strategy number 3 is about technology evolution. We had applied this strategy on both asset and facilities management application for several years now. So we had made some adjustment to the governance of our asset, especially when it comes to digitalizing our work processes. So several initiatives have helped improve the quality and ease the overall management of the process at strategic, technical, and operational level. So in terms of digitalization in our organization, we have in fact made some changes, especially on application of software in planning, designing, monitoring, and disposal of assets. We have digitized our documents and procedures. We have online application, and we do collect our data using computerized system and online portal for several years now. We are keeping tab on the latest technology like cloud-based storage, IoT, and AI, and many more. But the only thing is we have limited budget, and changes will take more time compared to maybe private entities. So with automated system getting reports now that we experience it is easy. It's like a touch of a button. We can print it out and we can have our reports. We can see live feed and we can get real data for decision making, especially during the monthly meeting. So we don't have any more problem, I would say, maybe a few, but because we are now, there are some on the rules on cloud security policy by Mampu and CGSO. So we can use cloud-based storage for our data lah. So process of analyzing data for R&D, for example, searching for information and guidelines is easy now. We can just download because everything is in the server. So last year we issued new policy for CMMS in FM contracts. that is, I think, fairer to all the service provider, because it opens more opportunity for us to get the best service in the market. Previously, we have only one in-house, but now we open so that we can experience new technology, maybe provided by other service provider.
More minutes,
Okay.
engineer.
Okay, so we are in the process of developing our own CMMS dashboarding to monitor our FM contractors' progress and performance. We also have a repository system called eComs. It's a cloud-based storage for our digitized maps and as-built drawings. So it allows access to our staff to refer to all the drawings and the maps anytime, anywhere. On top of that, we have JPedia, where we store our guidelines, procedures, many more in the server. We also have our Public Work Cost Information System Center, PWCIC. So this platform actually allows our contractor to self-update information on latest material specification and pricing of construction or maintenance item for future project estimates. And last, I think we also have integrated monitoring system. We monitor our payment progress and performance online for maintenance and FM contracts. Data of payment made monthly also will be fed into the system, and any discrepancy of monies received and spent will be controlled. So this is actually a few initiatives that we have. So this is the one that we have. This is all the guidelines. This is just snapshot of it. This is the web-based. This is what I mentioned just now, the ISO. And this is our website that we can do our monitoring on the financial. This is our newly dashboard CMMS that we developed in-house to monitor all our providers, because we have different CMMS provider and a lot of sites. So this is another one that we are venturing into, maybe for this is next 5 to 10 years, BIM for facilities management. So before, this is maybe my last slide. So we foresee that there's a lot of more initiative will be implemented in stages lah. So we welcome any collaboration and strategic partnership that can benefit us in the AFM industry. So we hope to continue to improve our processes and invent new practices in AFM. So I think I will conclude my presentation today. Once again, I thank the organizer for the event and allowing me to be part of it. So Assalamualaikum and have a great webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Mazia. Thank you for taking time and being with us today. It's been a very interesting presentation. We have two questions from the floor. I will read the question to you for your reply. Please try to keep as short as possible.
Okay.
Okay. The first delegate is asking, how long usually takes to transition from conventional to digitalized tool for government property assets? I believe management of government property assets.
Oh, okay. So it can take years because as we can, I mean, every year we have like 5 years plan. So if we don't have it in that pipeline in that 5 years, definitely it will overflow to the next 5 years. So in that 5 years also, we have prioritized our spending. So it's not that easy because as we all know, maintenance is not popular. It's the first thing that will be cut off before anything else. So but we tried to actually plan it better, strategize our maybe plans so that we can at least achieve maybe less time than shorter time. Yeah.
Shorter time.
So that the technology won't be changing that fast and we are actually lagging so much behind. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
again for being with us, Engineer Matia. And
Welcome. It's pleasure,
we,
mine.
our big pleasure, honestly. And pass over now the speaker. Besides being a very old friend of myself, a personal friend, know each other. We know each other since many, many years, more than 10 years. Surveyor Haji Asman Shabin Haji Modarifin has been a brick man, a property man for many, many years. He is the CEO and Chief Real Estate Consultant of Exastrata Solutions Hyderabad. Has been graduated from the University of Glamorgan, United Kingdom, and is a registered valuer, estate agent, and property manager, registered with the BOVEAP, which is the board for valuers agent and property appraisal and property manager. As well as he is also a chartered surveyor accredited by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyor in UK. Surveyor Asman has been a member of the drafting committee for the Strata Management Act, Regulation 2015, and the Malaysian Property Management Standard in 2015. He is currently the president of the Royal Institution of Surveyor Malaysia, the immediate past president of the Malaysian Institute of Property and Facility Manager. He has been awarded a number of times in his professional life, and recently he has been receiving the eminent contribution to the property management industry and Property Manager of the Year in 2016 from BOVEAP, and in 2018 has been awarded the Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah Medal by the Sultan of Selangor himself. The sharing of Asman today with us is very much related to the input and help of digitalized tools in applying the best possible practices in facility management to make a real difference. Arifin, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. DG, my old friend. Can you hear me clearly, everyone? Thank you ever so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great pleasure to be with you this afternoon. I would say that it is, once a year's event, and it's fantastic that we have so many people, distinguished speakers who are able to share their thoughts this afternoon from across the globe, especially those who are actually active in Malaysia. So, ladies and gentlemen, topic for today, industry trends and it's towards digitalized FM best practices. So, ladies and gentlemen, digitalization in property management and facility management has actually been accelerated at a very fast rate following the unprecedented pandemic period of 2020 to 2021. I would imagine that nobody would expect the pandemic to strike in 2020, and I can share with you back in 2018 when MIPFM was actually going to hold its annual conference. We came up with the topic property technology. So when I presented the topic of property technology in 2018, it was actually kind of objected by some of the members of the committee because they said that we have not reached that level yet. Malaysians have not reached that level yet. We are still behind, But then again, we said, hey, let's just give it a try. And fantastic, we had a good turnout. We had very good speakers from Taiwan, Singapore, and from India as well. And there was a good take-up from the local practitioners here in FM and PM, as well as CRE from corporate real estate. And that actually opens up the eyes of of the industry players, as well as the fact that brought together the awareness of technology in real estate. Now, when the pandemic struck in 2020, there was a lot of panic because of the fact that most of us had to actually go into remote working conditions, and we were all doing WFH. That means we were working from home. But property management and facility management actually required to be the frontliners at that point in time. Although the government had not actually recognized the practitioners in PM and FM as being frontliners, but at a later stage, a few months later, they realized that without property management and facility management, buildings would have been paralyzed. There was not going to be any condos with working lifts. There will not be any systems moving for data centers, and a lot of businesses which are requiring a lot of maintenance actually has to be maintained. So a lot of practices in PM and FM had to be digitalized quickly, and adoption was actually very, very imminent at that point in time. So let's look at what are the practices that we have gone through, the last few years. So there are certain activities that we have had to really actually carrying out to ensure efficient operation and maintenance of the buildings and services. So we have regular maintenance, which have to be kept up. So we have, in the past, a lot of reactive maintenance. But moving forward, technology is actually pushing us to do a bit more for our clients, for our own buildings. That is to look at predictive and preventive and predictive maintenance. We have also had to do a lot of asset tracking. With technology, this makes it very, very simple for us to do it with the help of a lot of applications. And then we had also the worry of safety and security in the past, whereby now, with the advent of a lot of new technology, FM and PM has had a better experience in ensuring safety. For instance, there are actually now car plate recognition systems, and facial recognition systems for security purposes. We talked about energy efficient. And of course, when we talk about energy efficient, we are talking about saving the planet, for instance. But the actual agenda most probably is also to do with cost saving. And this is the concern by a lot of people as we look at increase in expenses in operating buildings and also delivering services. In terms of space utilization, we have seen a lot of glut in the market and a lot of repositioning of buildings, buildings which are changed from commercial to residential, buildings which are changed from commercial to hospitality, etc. And of course, at the same time, with the advent of co-working spaces and things like that, we need to make sure that the space is efficient and utilized to the optimum. Now, in terms of vendor management, we know for a fact that when we were working from remote before, it was really difficult to get quotations, it was really difficult to get a lot of services done and purchasing. So with the advent of technology, a lot of these activities to engage with the vendor and suppliers are made more, I would say, more easier as well as more convenient, especially when you have a system where your client can also access during the day or even in the evening through cloud. And then we have been looking at technology integration. We were talking about the aspect of the 4P, for instance, in facility management. We're looking at people, process, and technology related to place. All these 4Ps have been in place for the last few years. We are looking at sustainable initiatives. We see clients now and investors, especially investors and industry players are looking into environment, social, and governance. Which actually are looking at towards having processes or standards, which actually will allow people to assess and report on the activities of certain organizations or companies. And of course, in terms of communication and collaboration, there are a lot of things which are going diversely, across disciplines, whereby you have different professions, property management, facility managers, service providers, accounting support, and of course, customer service coming across to communicate between them in order to deliver to the customer and collaborating at an unprecedented rate now. It's like life. I need the response immediately, and it can be done within seconds. This is the magic of the activities that we have now in FM. It's about speed and delivery, and of course, continuous improvements. Now, this is where we are looking at improving the competence of our team members. We are looking at innovation. We are looking at updating ourselves on technology which is available on the market. I think everybody has heard of ChatGPT. The moment ChatGPT hit the market, within a couple of weeks, there are thousands of prompts or extensions are being introduced. It's no longer like, okay, we'll have to wait for time to do this. And now, presentations can be done within seconds using certain apps, and analysis, data analytics can be done within seconds. There are a lot of things that we can improve, by simply looking at what we have done now and incorporating technology. Okay.
4 minutes.
Now, okay, thanks. And if you look at industry needs, I've mentioned to you about ESG. The problem with ESG is that we need to produce reports. We need to produce reports with data for the consumption of our investors. So this is where probably technology is the only way forward for us to be able to present the analysis of the data that we have from all the big data that we receive, and also using machine learning. We have artificial intelligence now helping us out, in the analysis. We also have to move from reactive now to proactive management. This is what the industry needs. They cannot wait for us to see that the machine or the equipment breaks down. You need to have preventive and also now predictive or forecasting management. You know exactly when it's going to break down, and you have to avoid it from breaking down. Okay. Now we are looking at hybrid work environment now everywhere. People are actually working from home, from remote, and also at the same time they are nomads. So they require a work environment which is actually available for them to do their work. And most people are working using a lot of technology, and artificial intelligence. Now, we've talked about data, and we can see now a lot of what we have been talking about are data-driven. And this is where there is a need for data analytics to be done so that the industry can make informed decisions, in the long term. Okay, and we've been talking about sustainable practices. We are talking about green buildings, and within green buildings, we're talking about green leases. We're talking about the greenhouse effect reduction, carbon footprint, and all those things are also important for us in view of our climate conditions now. Everybody must start to realize this is a challenge to us. Now, cost reduction, of course, is actually another issue that we have to look into. And health and safety measures. The industry needs to know that our building, our services are ready to face another pandemic if there is one. Okay, now let's move on to the trends. When we look at the trends.
Please, shortly.
Okay, sure. We've talked about sustainability, so that goes a long way for us to look at. And of course, we need to harness all the IoT devices that we have. We have a lot of technology, but we're not able to actually get our team to adopt the technology fast. So we need to do this very fast so that we can follow the trend. We talked about predictive maintenance. This has to be done quickly as well. All the systems must go towards this. Wellness and convenience, that means the system must be something which is convenient to be used. And the client is always looking for something which is customer friendly, to be used. And energy saving means cost saving. And this will help your client a lot. And mobile-based operation system, this is where a lot of things are at your fingertips. You need to do a lot of things wherever you are, whenever you are, at any time. Okay, and last but not least, of course, the trend is now looking at VR, virtual reality, whereby you can be in another part of the world, but you can still access the building in another place in order to assess or do diagnosis or actually carry out certain works, although you're not there physically. All right. Now, let's look at the conclusion to conclude my presentation today. We need to match, I need to conclude that we need to match industry trends with needs with FM practices, and we need to do this by integrating technology. So as you can see, there are a lot of things that we have available to us, and these are the things that we have to really follow up as soon as we can. We need to utilize IoT devices. So this is where it's important to use this to get good communication, feedback, and also especially in corporate real estate. We need to look at analytics. All the data that we can get a lot of data, but without somebody to actually analyze the data and use it for the client's purpose, it's useless. And we need certain system to do that. We need to look at cost-saving technology. We are killing two birds with one stone. We are looking at sustainability as well as ESG by having certain technology which will save the cost as well at the same time. And of course, when we look at remote working conditions, we need to really benefit from all the applications and all the management methods, all the tools and resources that we can be using to actually now start to work, basically efficiently and effectively. Now, last but not least, we need to incorporate the technology into the FM best practices, and this is where the challenge is. You need to change mindset. You need to do a lot more training, hand-holding along the way, and also improve the literacy. Okay, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for your attention and time this afternoon. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Azman, for the very interesting presentation. Very well done. And we have a question in the chat box asking one of the participants is asking if technology will replace human labor. I'll let you reply first.
Thank you very much.
Then I add a word as president of PropTech.
Okay. In my opinion, in fact, we've always been worried about this, yeah. But we need to understand technology is there to help us, and for us to be able to actually be relevant, we need to go with the trends and with the applications. That means we need to be aware of what is available and what we can be using. And now I don't hear people being fired, for the presence of all this technology. Instead, they need you to adopt the technology and make it useful for the organization. So I don't think it will replace any of us. And in fact, one other thing is that the mind of the human, it cannot be defeated by any AI. AI can only help them. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Exactly. And as president of PropTech, I can assure Juan Nor Bayati that definitely technology is not here to replace human labor, but to make your way of working easier, faster, and more impactful for the company where you work or for your company if you are the owner of the company. Thank you again. Thank you again very, very much, Azman, for the very interesting and insightful presentation. We are entering the last part of our webinar. So I will very fast start introducing moderator and speakers. Let me introduce our moderator. The surveyor Samsuari Selamat has almost 40 years of management level experience in valuation, privatization, property management, and corporate matters. Samsuari has been working for 13 years in local authorities, municipalities, and similar, and for more than 25 years in government-linked corporation, GLCs. His study background is a bachelor in property management by UTM and a diploma in valuation by UTM again. Samsuari has been member of RISM, MIPFM, ICSC, and a registered property manager with PropTech. He is currently consultant and subject matter expert advisor with ServeDeck Innovation Center. He is going to moderate a very interesting topic which is a discussion with two experts about processes and practices, digitalization, making a real difference in facility management. His two speakers are Surveyor Haji Isaac bin Ismail, founder and managing director of IMG Property Consultants in Rabhat, and has been in the real estate practice since 1991. In 2015, he has been accredited as an international certified valuation specialist of business or business valuer by the International Association of Consultants. He is the deputy president of the Malaysian Institute of Property and Facility Manager, the president of Persatuan Perunding Hartanah Muslim Malaysia, and he has been awarded as Property Manager of the Year by BOVEAP, and he is also a fellow member of the Royal Institute of Surveyors Malaysia. The last of our speaker panelists is engineer Segeran Freja. Kuna is currently the Senior Vice President of Facilities Management with Iskandar Investment Berhad. He has been graduating from the University of Technology of Malaysia in 2001 with an honors degree in Bachelor of Civil Engineering. Kuna has completed his postgraduate degree from the University of Manchester in the UK with a Master of Science in Project Management. Engineer Kuna has over 20 years experience in driving wide spectrum facilities management, property management, and construction project management towards delivering the business objective. He is a CIDB certified facility manager, PMI project management professional, a corporate member of Institute Engineering of Malaysia, and a registered engineer with the Dubai Municipality in UAE. He has been the recipient of Outstanding Talent Award Leadership Training by Leaderonomics. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's virtually put our hands together for Mr. Samsubari, Surveyor Isaac, and Engineer Kuna. I leave the stage to you for the panel discussion. Samsubari, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel, for your kind introduction. Even though we are running quite late of times, but I hope we still follow our time allocated for this session.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good morning, maybe to some places, and good afternoon in Malaysia. Okay, with the initiative undertook by the board in 2017 to streamline the activity and services of the profession, which required PM to be registered with the board. Many of them have taken the opportunity and become registered property manager. Due to that, we have practitioners that come from various different academic background that practicing property management and facilities management. There are some of them coming from property managers, engineers, building surveyors, accountant, lawyer, or even a business administration are doing property management currently. So today we are very fortunate because we have two gentlemen here, with very distinguished and a very vast experience in knowledge about property and property management. They're going to talk about the process and practices, digitalization to make a real difference in facilities management. Since Dr. Daniel already made introduction about the panelists, so I don't have to reintroduce again due to time factor. So in Malaysia, in our maybe last 40 years, PM/FM industries has grown by leaps and bounds. A lot of changes happen either in the industry itself or in the profession. As of the profession, is the recognition of the PM/FM with the industry. The role and function of PM/FM has become more and more eminent due to the higher expectation from the various stakeholders, the owners, investors, expecting higher yield, well-maintained buildings, facilities with reasonable maintenance costs, tenant expecting good, well-maintained buildings, good promotion activities that can attract higher traffic flow to the building. Patron users or customer, they are looking for high and good quality factory services, good ambient, safe and secure environment for their memorable shopping experience. In addition to introduction of the Strata Management Act by the government, which, if I'm not mistaken, have been amended maybe 3 times for last over 30 years. If the role of PM and FM have become even more crucial and challenging. And this have put a greater responsibility to PM and FM in carry out their role more professionally and diligently in order to achieve the expectation of the various stakeholders. Okay, after so much being talked and shared with the previous speakers, so I would like to start with the first question to our panelists. In the over past maybe 20-25 years ago, PM and FM activities was operated with no or maybe minimum digitalization assistance. Everything was done in manual mode. So during those days, what are the main challenging and pain points of the industry? So I would like to ask Tuan Haji Ishak to respond to this question. Silakan Tuan Haji.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon or morning to all participants, panel speakers, ladies and gentlemen. The real estate industry is definitely a critical sector of our economy, and it has a huge multiplier effect on the economy and therefore is a big driver of economic growth. The role of the real estate industry in the economy has evolved with the technology, globalization and sustainability over the period of time. And technological evolution has provided this industry with more choices and greater access. Coming back to your questions on what are the challenges in the past with regard to the property and facility management, particularly in Malaysia. So I can summarize there are several issues in the past. The first one, of course, is a lack of accessibility, right? And lack of transparency. People are talking about a third-party interference, complex agreement. There's so much, agreement that we have got to prepare and vet through and comply with, and so on. And issue of managing cash flow has been highlighted by many speakers previously. Record keeping and security, especially when we talk about data safekeeping and the big data, and multiple entries that can be modified databases. So people can cheat, people can fraud, and so on. That has happened in the past, where you collect cash money and at the end of the month, when you do the accounting reconciliation, you find that the amount of cash missing because of the traceability and tracing. It's not been so transparent. So to me, I think you talk about the shareholders just now, stakeholders just now. So talking about the stakeholders, so to me, I think there are many stakeholders, right? That we need to mention. And of course, among the one that you mentioned is the very important one is our clients, which is the occupants of the building, and the service providers, and the people who are actually entrusted to manage the building, the building manager, the property manager, facility manager, and not to forget is the regulator, be whether it is the board of valuers, appraisers, agents, and property managers, or the Construction Industry Development Board, or the Commissioner of Buildings, or even some other authority. So they will need to have to understand how the report will be generated and report will be filed to their office. So now we are talking about how to extract the information on the real time. So these are all the problems in the past. So I think moving forward, so we need to basically embrace the technology that will definitely come and assist us, and not to basically eliminate us. So this is something that we need to understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Tonaji. Okay, I pass to IR Kuna. If you anything to add from that.
Thank you, Samsul Bari. And I think we are here for today's World FM Day. We are here to make the real difference on the side of practitioner as a FM practitioner. And most of the question has been covered by the Encik Isha. So what I'm going to add on here, I'm going to talk about the most important part of how it was managed previously, the communication and the information management. So previously, these two key items is not been managed effectively, where we have to communicate through letters or traditional way. So we have to think about how to make sure that information has been translated, but it's been captured in the right way for us to retrieve back. So if you see that in a manual traditional way, we have a number of people participate in the operations. We have different kind of people interfere or appear in a different point of times. And we have the missing of the information and the documents that have been transferred or will be missing in the transition. So these are the key things that we see the challenges for the current revolution on the FM. So we need to make sure that this has been overcome effectively to make sure that we don't be having these issues. The digitalization effectively one of the key things that we're going to follow. But there's also some resistance in terms of how we're going to make this digitalization works here. So people really don't want to accept this in easily. So we have the resistance to change. They have talking about the cost. There's the talking about integration. So those are the key elements or part we're going to talk about on the when we talk about digitalization. So in my experience personally, actually, I've been involved in the two different cycle of the assets or buildings. I've been involved in the construction as well as now at the moment I'm involved in the operation of assets management. So I'm putting myself into two different point of view of how we look at into this digitalization. Because when we complete the projects or we have done the projects, we will be always the documents, the drawings, the all these manuals, as-builds always missing. So this is not digitalized and we don't get that we transfer to the FM personals. I've been through this and we have pain on the getting back the document. So when the FM personnel come into the picture, they will say there's no continuity on the documents. We have missed these documents. We don't have as-built drawings. So it's a big challenge for the FM personnel to effectively work on their operation by day to day. So if you know that the assets, when we come to the operation, is take about 70% of the cost for the overall life cycle of the buildings. So we need to effectively manage that 70%, which is a major cost for the whole life cycle of the building. I think with that, I think I finished my ended this question. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Kuna. Okay, maybe some few points that I can take from our panelists. One is on the integrity issues. That's spoken by Tonaji Shah, and also about the people. Again, there's a question about whether the digitalization will replace people. No, I think people still play a bigger role in whatever situation, whatever system they are going to practice. But of course, we must get the right people, the right mindset of people in the group. Okay, we go to a second question. Okay, we are now in year 2023 and just out of two highly disruptive years due to COVID-19 pandemic. But however, we managed to maybe soften the negative impact of the pandemic due to the adoption of digital solution in the property and facilities management, such as working from home, hybrid working environment, social distancing, and more. So how do you think that adoption of digitalization in PM could give positive impact to the operation of PM and FM? What are the major wins and defeats for all the stakeholders and visitors And why is it so important for the players, even the stakeholders, the FM, the PM, to embrace themselves into digitalization? Tuan Haji.
Okay, thanks for the second questions. You talk again about the stakeholders. So let me stress you, the stakeholders we are talking here today is not only the property managers and the facility managers. You know, the people, the support professionals who are also helping us behind scene. Also include some legal firms, the auditors, you know, valuers, the financial institution, the contractors, estate agents, and so on. So there are many stakeholders that we are talking. Apart from the building owners, apart from the the land office, and also the tenant, and so on and so forth. But coming back to the questions on how the adoptions of the digitization could give the positive impact to our operation. Yeah, so I think there are some benefits of digitization or technology in the property and facility management. Number one, of course, I think it's a prevention of fraudulent activities. This is something that we are looking forward, to focus more on the management of property, and we need to basically looking forward on how we can avoid these fraudulent activities. So maybe in the future, we may need to consider of bringing the blockchain technology, after we familiarize with the AI, with all the system and technology and so on and so forth. But since no one talking about the blockchain technology, I think the blockchain technology is very important. Because using the blockchain technology, I think we can use the decentralized network that can ensure a tamper-proof record of all information concerning property history and transaction. Number two, the benefit of having this digitization is to eliminate the manual documentation. So we can eliminate, the manual documentation. So far, I think our manual documentation has been, exposed to many changes or alteration, or there's some sort of, basically, but bad people who use this manual documentation to cheat. And some of the manual documentation may be also, subject to maybe laws and caught with fire and so on and so forth. So we need to basically digitize all our files and keep it in the cloud, so that you will allow all the process tracking and the tracing of all the process and extract all the documents easily. Number three, I think the benefit is that so we can ensure that it will be a near real-time reports. So this is something that we have challenges in the past. So through this technology, I think many have said before that we can reduce risk. We can also, improve time. We can also fasten our process. Improve all the paperwork and so on. So we could supply the information almost real time. So this is something that very important. And and also to me, I think when we practice digitization in the long run, so the cost will be muchly reduced. So we can leverage this solution of the real estate management or investment and reduce the overall cost remarkably through the elimination of the third-party entities. and maybe we can also make the overall process more efficient, right, and less time taking. So this is something that will benefit our clients in the long run, and of course us as a service provider that taking care of the buildings. And of course, to me, I think the very important is for us to get involved from the very beginning, in the planning stage. If we have digitization, we introduce that in the early stage. So that will definitely help to reduce costs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tuan Haji. Some of points that maybe I can collect from what have been said by Tuan Haji is, I think, on the improve of efficiency, and also by do not have to have hard copy report. So everything was carried out via online. So maybe we also going to environment friendly situation. Okay, Arpuna, if anything to add from what have been said by Tuan Haji just now.
Yeah, actually, if you say, we can't deny that after the pandemic, there's a significant changes in terms of digitalization for people to have on the day-to-day basis. The data and the digitalizations are key to track the patients or people who are moving around during the pandemics. That's make people to transform themselves into the digitalization and data. Data solution assisted for operation for the companies to be continually operate. Otherwise, they'll be out from the business market because they can't operate during the pandemic. That forced a lot of companies, people, or those with that different kind of mentalities or don't want to go into technology to be into the technology. After they feel that technology, now everybody is doing everything everywhere. In fact, today we are doing webinar throughout, in Malaysia and also other part of the world in one single platform. So it's make everybody connected very well. So you can't deny that people are loving this technology and the digitalization. Okay, so what I can say in terms of the pro and cons of having these digitalizations or the technology here, the pros definitely is a lot of pros that we're gonna put it on top of this, because when you talk about sustainability, we cannot run away from this data and digitalization. These are the key to get sustainable records and data to be reflected for the reports or how we're gonna make yourself ready. So like Malaysia, you are looking forward to 2050 of carbon neutrality. So we must go on that data-driven kind of approach. On top of that, we will have the enhanced communication. We will have the quick process of communicate with the tenants or clients or to our vendors, and also the tracking. And this data will give you a better decision-making approach where we can do a decision with this very effectively manner with a lower cost, because we know what is really happening to our buildings or the operation of FM. The other part, they see the improved sustainabilities in terms of reduction to the impact on the environment. When you start having the digitalization, we don't really travel, so you have reduced the carbon impact on your overall business. So that actually support in terms of the reduction of carbon for the operation and the nation. And we talk about the cons, like I mentioned earlier, it is more into that persistent to change. People really don't want to change because they already set up the system. They said, I have this system, I'm going to stick to the system. I think that is working well. In fact, they are not. Hence, I think today's World FM days, things like making real difference really make them to change. And the second part is the cost, obviously. If you see the long run, when you have effective system, you're going to reduce your cost in terms of the manpower you're going to use to maintain. And the integration with the existing system also another con for the people who don't want to take this into the action, because they already have a system and we have new system going to integrate, it may not work. But some other solution provider, they're actually working on that. We have open source and kind of things that can work together on that. And the other part, actually, there's people reluctant to take this digitalization and the tech is actually the data quality. How good, how reliable your data into these pictures, When we think about data, maybe some data is not accurate. It is not reliable. So when you use the unreliable data to do the decision making, actually going to a different or wrong direction. So we will make sure that data that's been taken off is actually in a very quality manner, a good manner, and really reliable. So to make sure that you have a proper decision making in advance. And the next part is the cyber securities. When we have data, everybody also can view the data. So you must make sure that we control the data. People actually afraid of this data will be export or will be shared to other people. So cyber security and data protection protection is very, very important. Ensure that this digitalization and the tax to be carried out in the future. So I think we know when we talk about the people who want to into this FM business, we always forced to reduce our costs. So this is the way to make sure that we're gonna save this. But no matter what, saving is one thing, the efficiency is another important thing. It doesn't mean that you save money, but you're not efficient, you're not going to go where. Okay, I think that is end of my question number 2. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kuna. Okay, what have been shared just now by Mr. Kuna is on the data-driven. Yes, very true. By having a right data, we can make a right decision. That's very important. And also on the security aspect, yes, everything our operation, our work that using IT security is the most important issue that we have to ask before we engage or adopt in whatever system they're going to use. And also on the cost, yes, it's become more and more challenging because everything people are asking about lower cost, lower price. The tenant looking for lower rental, the owner asking for reasonable maintenance costs and so forth. So I think by digital system will help a lot everybody's in this industry to move forward for a better result. Okay, and then we go to the third question, which will be the last question. Okay, having said that, we are moving forward to the future. What can we expect from the coming years? Everyone is talking about, as mentioned Tuan Haji just now, AI, blockchains, big data. So where will the PM and FM industry direction, and what is really urgent that need to be implemented, and how digitalization could bring a difference to the industry? Tuan Haji.
Sorry. Okay, thanks for the question. I think this question is basically to see what is our hope for the future. Of course, I think everybody agrees that we need to embrace technology. There's no doubt about it. So whether you want to embrace the technology in the phases, or you want to implement the system at one go. So to me, I think we need to basically identify what are the current challenges in order for us to implement to implement all these the system that we have mentioned just now, the blockchain, everything. If you see the evolution of the technologies, currently the technologies with present in Malaysia. So as what we mentioned by all the speakers, the artificial intelligence, IoT, the automations and robotics, drones, blockchain, perhaps, bioprinting, augmented reality, sensors technology, biotechnology, virtual reality, maybe energy storage, supercomputing, neurotechnology. There are many that here in Malaysia, even the 3D printing. But what the technology will not stop, and they will continue to evolve, and they will continue to come in the big way. So I think in the future, people perhaps were looking into how to come up with a health passport. So maybe you have from the 3D printing, they will go to the next 3D or maybe 5D printing, right? So DNA data storage, cyber security, as mentioned, biometric materials. This is something that we perhaps will have to embrace. Collaborative telepresence. So this is all new things that I think has been mentioned in the IR blueprint produced by the MOSTI. But to me, in order for us to implement this, let me look into several aspects. Number one, we need to see the existing laws. So the existing law currently there is no specific act to authorize the utilization of certain things. For example, enforcement of using the blockchain. So it must come from the top. So the top, policymakers will have to decide whether you want to be like UAE or Dubai, or you want to adopt the Singapore models. So we need to decide. So we have to amend the existing law or create a new law. Number two is regulatory power. So currently, of course, I think there are still poor governing act, guidelines and regulation. For example, the Act of the Valuers, Appraiser, Estate Agent and Property Managers Act, 1981, Act 242. So the Act has been amended, mentioned by moderator in 2017. But until today, it's already about 5 years. So we have not seen the regulation has been approved by the minister. So it took them 5 years to even come up with the regulations. What more to embrace into how to regulate the practice that come together with the blockchain, for example, or come together with the technology support, right? So valuation is coming in the perhaps the online valuation. Are they allowed? Property management, are we allowed to basically do the handing over virtually? So this is something that we need to see in terms of regulatory power. Awareness. So there's still lack of and poor understanding on the importance of the new technology among the stakeholders. Cost is another issue, right? So financial issues, financial is also another issue. There's no proper financial model to me at this moment, because some said, by Mazia just now, that the government is still having problem in terms of approving budget. So they have many things to do, but budget is a constraint. If the government, see this as something that will not be benefited, in the long run, and we definitely have the problem. So what more in the private sectors? Who is going to bear if we, purchase all this system? So we implement the technology. So there are costs to it, but we must continuously to educate them. And human capital is also another challenge. We still have lack of skill and competent personnel in the current market. So we need to continuously improve, through training, so on and so forth. So to me, I think we can, if we want to expect what in the future, so we need to, number one, of course, to digitize on the record, transparent market. So we need to perhaps to redesign of the real estate processes again. So we need to perhaps ensure that the payment system can be programmed to escrow and distribute by itself. So we need to have more and more smart contract, all right, to be implemented. So we need to have all this. But to start this, so we need to have the right business model if you want to, embrace and implement this technology in a big way. Thank you.
Thank you, Tonaji. Yes, Tonaji touched a lot on the policymakers, that I can conclude that on the existing law that did not cover whatever that we have, what we want to do in the future, regulating bodies, awareness, financial, yes. Through my own experience actually in doing property management, facilities management, because the role of FM is just afterthought. When they involved in the development, in the initial stage of construction, then haven't thought about of the budget in maintenance of that asset. Property managers or facility manager doesn't involve in the initial stage, during early stage in the construction cycle. That's a problem. Even in terms of design of the building, in terms it may cause problem later on to the facility managers to maintain the building. If looking at the design of the building that we have now, last time Tabung Haji is such a building as is a round shapes of building, and now we have Menara PNB 118 new building in KL, and also 106. So it's a challenging actually to property managers and forestry managers in managing and maintaining such assets, such property. Okay, Arkuna, if you have anything to add about this issue.
Yes, thank you very much. Talking about the FM managers' involvement in the construction prior to the completion of the building, I think that is very serious and very crucial. That's why in Iskandar and West Berhad, we have our department now, IIB-FM, involved thoroughly in the construction development. We will advise on the systems and ventilation system, mechanical, natural lightings, energy saving. So we have that kind of upper hand to advise them on how to do that in a right way. Otherwise, the people going to suffer after that is the facilities managers. So with that, I also want to inform that you know that the FM business actually is keep increasing day to day. The building is there. You just keep on increasing the number of building. We are talking about 1,500 billion USD in 2027, the total market value for FM. So people want to be compete or irrelevant to the market, they should be into the technology as well. If you are behind that, I don't think so you can compete. And there are a lot of new FM providers, service providers coming every day. And now client themselves turning to be a FM provider like IIB now. We have total assets, increasing assets. So that's give a demands to the asset owners to introduce their own FM to doing it in-house. But how the outsiders to be compete with them? So they need to come up with the technology, cost efficient, performance efficient to make sure they're in line with the service provider. So we can't deny that they are heavily influenced by the advancement of AI, blockchain, big data, machine learning tech, and so on, that transform the FM operation. So we talk about AI and machine learning. Actually, they are actually making the automate the FM tasks, such as like schedule maintenance, the PPM, the monitoring of energy usage, and optimization of building performance. The historical data and the reduced waste management and working environments obviously will help the usage of the AI. The blockchain, like Haji mentioned earlier, is definitely will improve on the contract management, payment to the respective vendors, and also payment receipt to be received from the client. They will reduce the dispute in between the clients and the providers. The big data obviously is more into the inside of the building, the occupant behavior, the data-driven decision, the optimization of building operation, which obviously give you on to manage how many people should I put in to manage that building, or what kind of utilization I'm required to make sure the building operate in such a manner. I would recall the building called the Age in Amsterdam with the 40,000 square meters located at the district of Amsterdam. There's a total, one of the finest green building in the world. They have rated by the Building Establishment Environment Assessment Methodology at 98.36%. So they have saved about 70% of the energy, natural lighting, they have a solar panels, they have the sensors to make sure the temperature, humidity, all was been taught before this been constructed. So the job of FM will be very super easy. They just monitor everything on the system. They didn't talk about the retrofit the system after the completion of the building. The system all in place with the apps, everything in order. They're just looking into the system to make sure that all is run perfectly. On terms of the clients who wanted to have the system, as FM provider, yeah, we want to have the system. Do the client wants that? We must know. If the client wants that system to make sure that they have the right data. So nowadays, the bosses just want to sit on top of the screen, want to see, I want the report on sustainable. I want to know how much work already been completed. I want to know how was the performance of the vendor. So everything is like a dashboard to show them what is happening on the real time. So that is very crucial and critical to make sure that all the FM provider or service provider relevant in the market. So I think to conclude the overall session on my answer and also the speaker's view, I think is the digitalization and the data as well as sustainable is the key for today. We must make sure that data and sustainable elements will be taken care. With the data digitalization, we can't avoid telling that people we need to improve in terms of the system, in terms of operation, in terms of efficiency. This all been recorded and monitored every day. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Arkuna. Okay, so talk about the building in Amsterdam. So in Malaysia, we, even though it's maybe still in an initial stage, we also have green building approach. We have platinum, gold, and silver. But I think in Malaysia, the maybe the acceptance or the appetite from the building owner on going to that is still very, very low. I can say
Actually,
that.
I think the initial cost they're looking at,
Yeah,
they will increase the
right.
construction cost, so they don't want to put it in the early stage. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So maybe the government have to
Tuan-
think about if
Tuan-
I think if I can conclude in one word, I can say is change. Change is something that we cannot avoid. If we want to be relevant, we have to change. Whether we like it or not, we have to change. We have to follow what's the technology is going and how the technology will brings good to the profession, to the industries. So, and then by that, we have also must prepare with the infrastructure, the right infrastructure, the good infrastructure. We may have manpower, good people with the right attitude and then know-how, and also the system, and as well as the money. Because everything has to be done with some funding. If we don't have enough funding, so maybe it's difficult for us to move forward. With that, I conclude this session. But that we have one question from the floor. If I can read the question now, maybe our panelists can answer the question.
Yeah. Let's see. The question is, where do FM stands in terms of being the same at the same bar with architect, consultants, and IR engineers in future?
If I'm allowed to answer that.
Yes, please.
Short. Make
Okay.
it very short.
Very short. I think my name itself is already answered the questions. As an engineer, you are equally good as them as well. You are also accredited as well. So most of the FM practitioner or professional, they are also, some of them is actually IR, or they are either mechanical engineer or civil engineer or electrical engineer. And they also are building engineers. So you can be actually compete or comparable with those professional people as well. So you are equivalent to them.
Well, to me, I think the property managers, we have the property management standards that has been issued to basically give the guidelines and to basically make it mandatory for each and every property managers to follow. There are 11 standards that you need to be adhered to, all right? Starting from the appointment of property managers, taking over or handing over the property, and then building management, maintenance management, insurance management, health management, technology management, and so on and so forth, until the insurance management and facilities management. There are 11 standards altogether. You can purchase this as a guidelines from the Board of Valuers, and it's already now in second edition. I think it will be improved very, very soon. It will revise very, very soon. So I think the standards is very, very important for us to refer to and to be guided with. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I pass back to you, Dr. Daniel.
We still have more than 100 delegates online. That means topics are interesting and are definitely relevant for our audience. We hope that, of course, some, if not all, of the questions that you might all have been getting into your mind in regard to FM digitalization, the future of FM toward the better ESG compliance, higher sustainability, towards a more environmental friendly type of buildings and construction practices has been replied. And we would like you all to accept our huge thank you and thumbs up as delegates, because you have been heroically staying with us for almost 3 hours today. Thumbs up to all of you, and a huge salute and a big thank you to all our speakers, panelists, moderator, guest of honor, and so on. Thank you again, all delegates. stay with us this afternoon. All right. Thank you all.